Hey guys, it's Jess from Peace Out Books, and today I'm here with a fun video. So I am obviously sitting on the floor of my library. I've got Darcy and Lily behind me. You can't really see, you can kind of see Darcy's head there. Not really. But I got home from work about an hour ago, and you know, felt like doing a video. So I am starting to look at my phone because I saw Paperback Dreams do this. I think that's her name. I just discovered her channel last week and it's so good, so you should definitely follow her. She has really funny videos and I saw her do this and I was like, I gotta try that out. So this video is reading 1-star reviews of your favorite books. So I think she did 3 of her favorite books and I thought this would be really fun to do. So I have 2 in mind. I don't know what my third one's gonna be, if I'll do a third one. I'll just look at my shelves and see if I can find a third one to do. But I open up Goodreads on my phone. I'm not gonna like show you my screen while I'm doing it. I don't know how to do that. If you know how to do that, let me know. That's really cool how if I can even type in correctly, how some people will like show you their screen on the screen. How do you record your screen? That would be cool. So the first book I'm doing is going to be Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. So this book has a 4.22 average rating, so that is pretty darn good. And I'm gonna go to the ratings. So if you can, let me see if you can see this. There is not a lot of people who have done 1 stars. Very, very few. A lot of them are 5 stars. So we're gonna click on the 1-star reviews, and if anybody says anything bad about Jamie, it's gonna be ready for a throwdown, like seriously. Not really though, because I'm not a violent person. Okay. The first person says, I gave up on this book because I was sustaining permanent damage from reading it and I was afraid I'd start hitting back. And it's a borrowed copy, so that wouldn't be cool. Okay, so this is a fair comment. So they continue and say, which is, so she comes to terms with going back in time, which is when the book started to lose me. There's like no culture shock whatsoever. She gets knocked back 200 years or so. She goes, whoa, what the fliminy? She starts being the lady to go to with your 18th century Scottish boo-boos. That's it. And so like, I guess Claire takes it pretty well in stride, but like, that's her defense mechanism. Like, she's like, oh my god, I gotta survive now. Like, might as well put my skills to use. I was pretty impressed when Claire did that. The part this person liked were the leeches. Still, there's plenty to keep me interested, like leeches. The stuff about leeches was cool. I literally don't even remember leeches being in this book. Like, if you like leeches and not Jamie Fraser, like, what's wrong with you? This review doesn't even make sense, so I don't think they even finished reading the book. Because, like, what? No. Okay, so this one person makes a comment. They wanted to give it 0 stars because one of their main things is that homosexuals among the evil only. Now, if you have read the entire series, you would understand that there is an amazing character who is also in love with Jamie, who is a man, and he is probably one of the best characters in the book series. So that might have been problematic in book 1, but Diana Gabaldon really fixed that problem really well, and if you know who I'm talking about, you know how heartbreaking that character is and how amazing he is, and yeah, so just gonna say, just because there's bad representation in book 1, it's not the same in the rest of the series. I can kind of relate to this person on other books, but they said, too bad here isn't a, I think they meant there, too bad there isn't a rating stronger than didn't like because I hated this book. In fact, I read the entire thing just so that someone couldn't talk me out of hating it by saying, oh, it gets better at the end. Or you really needed to read the whole thing to appreciate it. Someone just wrote, stuck. 1 star. So this other person went into detail about all of the research that was not correct in the book, such as how public executions continued until 1868 in England, with the nominally last happening in Scotland in May of that year. And it says, every Scottish woman of Jamie's era living anywhere close to a settlement would have seen both often. It was common and regarded as entertainment. I think that you're going way too in-depth in this review of the book just to prove your point that it was bad. Like, I honestly don't care about historical accuracy. It is a work of fiction. Yeah, those are my thoughts. Okay, so the next book I'm gonna go with is a favorite of mine that I know a lot of people have issues with this author, and that is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. So this one actually is a 4.41 rating. That's higher than Outlander, which is actually surprising. I thought it'd be lower. This is my favorite. This barely has any 1 stars. That makes my heart happy. It Ends With Us is one of my favorite books of all time, and Colleen Hoover, it's my favorite book by her. It's a very emotional adult book because it deals with stuff that I don't want to spoil, but let's look at the 1-star reviews of one of my favorite books. This person's well aware of the love of this book. They said, my glaring 1 star in a sea of 5s probably makes it pretty clear that I detested this book, but please refrain from fetching your torches and pitchforks for a moment and take note that not only did I just 5-star Coho 2 weeks ago, but also I want to make all of... Okay, I have no idea what the rest of that sentence is talking about because it talks about Miles Archer. But I'm pretty sure she probably read Ugly Love and loved it, and so that's her warning that, yeah, she hated this book, but she's still a Coho fan, which is really nice because Coho fans are crazy. So the very first thing they have to say is, first, the character names. Ryle, Lily Bloom, and Atlas. Is it against the law not to use absolutely ridiculous names in these books? That is funny. I agree. Those are interesting names. Like, she named Lily Blooms on purpose. Like, yes, there was a reason for that. But I agree that Ryle and Atlas are names I've never heard of before. So, yes, okay. And then she makes the point to say, according to Google, less than 2% of the world's population has red hair, and yet 99.998% of the NA leading ladies do. Just stop. I haven't noticed that before, but okay. They said the synopsis was misleading, and I do agree the synopsis doesn't really tell you anything about the book, but like, don't fault the book for that. Okay, so they felt like the relationship was rushed, which that's the whole point, is that they got into a relationship without really knowing each other. Authors do things for a reason. Okay, and she talked about how Atlas had such a small insignificant amount of time in this book, it was pitiful, because Lily had to learn to deal with things herself and couldn't just rely on another man to get out of her problems. There is a reason for these things, and you have to think about why the author is doing these before getting mad at them, is what I think. Yeah. So it seems like what a lot of people don't like was an artistic choice on the author's part. So, whatever. Alright, what is my last one going to be? Should I do A Court of Mist and Fury? Why not? A Court of Mist and Fury. We're going for it. I know a lot of people don't like the first book, but the second one's my favorite. And it has a 4.69 rating. These are just getting higher and higher and higher with each book. So, let's see. Almost 200,000 people rated it. This has like 0 1-star reviews, honestly. You've got to like really hate Sarah J. Maas to give it a 1 star. Let's bring it up. First, they're mad that it's marked high fantasy. Yeah, and they reference Brandon Sanderson as laughing in their faces. Okay, so they start off the review by saying, so I've skimmed through the entire book. I still have no clue why this is so popular. You can't skim through a book and hate it. Like, that's not reading a book. You're just reading it for plot points then and not actually getting into the book. You can't skim a book and rate it. That's annoying. A Court of Blah Blah is boring as H-E-double-L. Like, sorry. Students watch this, so I gotta censor myself. But that is ridiculous. Like, of course it's boring. You skim the whole thing. Yeah, you skim this. They say, I think we all agree it's just plain wrong if a middle-aged man tries to get into a teenager's pants. But it's all hotness if you stretch the age gap from decades to centuries. Pretty sure Reese is not a middle-aged man. At all. Okay. Plot, was there any? I don't know. If you read the book, maybe you would know. Oh well. Moving on. So this person starts out by saying, I'm not a fan of ACOTAR, and you can see my review why. So why did you read the second book if you hated the first book? I do not understand why people do this. They either read a book with a trope they know they hate, or read a book in a series when they hated the first one. Probably not gonna like the second one if you didn't like the first one. This person did not like the fact that Feyre's relationships were considered love so quickly and out of love so quickly. I mean, I get it kind of was insta-lovey. I get it. I mean, book 1 was kind of really insta-lovey. Again, this person says, Sarah J. Maas and I just aren't compatible. I DNF Throne of Glass. I struggle to get through Court of Thorns and Roses. Then why read another book in a series you hate? Why? Now she's mad that Feyre was so concerned with Rhys and Tamlin that she's like, hello, there's a war going on, who cares? Like, that is actually really funny, but as a romance lover, I was like, there's a war going on, I don't care, go be with your man. Like, yes, that was me, so maybe that's why I love this book and you didn't. Sorry. There was too much snarling for my comfort. I can't even really picture how a person can I can't even really picture how a person can snarl commentary the way it's described here. I do agree. She said too often were people giving inanimate objects and each other rude gestures. I said that after reading it to my sister. I was like, a lot of times they give rude gestures to everybody in this book, and that's how she said it. Was everyone constantly receiving the middle finger? I still have no idea. I totally agree with that. There were so many times that they said someone did a rude gesture, and I'm like, are they just like giving each other the finger all throughout this book? I agree with that aspect. And now they end with saying, I'm mildly curious about what will happen in the next book since the end was interesting, but I don't think I'll be slogging through another installment in the series. Good, because you're probably gonna hate it. Okay, so those are my reading through some one-star reviews. This was not meant to be bashing or debating towards the people who said them. It was just for me to see if I understood or not why people did not like the books I love. Which obviously I did agree with some things and I did not agree with other things, but that's just how things go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you agree with my love for these books or what you feel about these books. Let me know. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day.